Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler review series of videos I do for a little while now. I go over their travel food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm gonna talk about stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie. This is one of those ones where the hopefully aspect of things really plays more into it than usual. But anyway, folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to yam around about for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, yeah, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. That's definitely the case today. I didn't realize that this existed. But yeah, I went over there. I got off of work maybe about an hour ago. And I wanted to stop off a couple places. So I hit up a 7-Eleven real quick to grab a couple drinks. Then I ended up going out to Walmart because I'm like, well, I need tea and, a couple other basic things. So I'm going around. And I got the stuff that I wanted to get. Found a few things to review. Not going to lie. But then, as I was making my way through, I don't know about Walmarts where y'all folks are at, but in the ones that I have, they have this little off section, right? That's typically near the entrance and exits, where it's they have a little cooler section for drinks, and then they have candy and stuff like that. And it's kind of its own little, thingamajig. And that's a scientific term. As I'm over there and I'm looking through, because I was, trying to find something, I spotted something. I was like, all right. So, what am I reviewing for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Well, it happens to be from Great Value brand. Boom! It is their milk chocolate fluffy nougat bar. Which begs the question, is this just a knockoff Three Musketeers? Because the thing is, Great Value, if you're not aware, that is Walmart's brand. That's their thing. And last year, in 2023, they started coming out with their own, discounted versions of more iconic candy items. They have, Kit Kat and Twix and Snickers, Obviously, they couldn't call it that, but that's what they were trying to emulate. This is the first time that I've seen what I'm assuming is their version of the Three Musketeers bar. So, I'm going to review this, but I'm not just going to review that, folks, because I'm going to, boom, we're going to do a comparison video to see if the Great Value is actually a great value. So, let's get a thing for the thing. Thing for a thing. Thing for a thing. Ha 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 ha! Sure, why not? So, let's start off with the Great Value brand. Let's see what this is about before we jump into it. And the thing is, I'll be honest, not a huge Three Musketeers guy. Don't hate it or anything, it's just never been a go-to candy for me. So, this has a good chance of potentially outwinning it. Alright. Smells chocolatey. Let's give it a go. Oh my. Yeah, okay. That is much denser than I remember a Three Musketeers bar being. That is not the aerated, super fluffy nougat that you get with the Three Musketeers. I'm also getting a caramel aspect. So I wonder, it doesn't say anything about caramel, but I'd be almost willing to bet money that there's a caramel blend in that nougat. Because I am definitely getting caramel, for sure. I mean, I'll say this, it's not bad. In terms of the flavor, it's a milk chocolate. It's nothing impressive, but, it's reasonable. The nougat, like I said, it's definitely thicker, for sure. But I like the caramel aspect of it. Like, again, maybe that's just me tossing bullshit out. But I don't think so. I think there's fucking caramel in that. That is what that tastes like to me. And I kind of like it. The only thing is that it detracts from the Three Musketeers aspect of it, puts it a little bit closer to like a Snickers. So, or a Milky Way. Yeah. Because there's no visible caramel. So I'm fairly certain that it's like blended into the nougat. I mean, I genuinely don't dislike this one. Their knockoffs have been, for the most part, okay. One of them, I forget which one, but one of them I really didn't like. Go watch my reviews on those if you want my full opinions, but one I actively disliked. This, to me, tastes pretty good because it's basically like a crossbreed between a Three Musketeer and a Milky Way. I really like Milky Ways. Again, Three Musketeers I'm a little bit more here or there on, but it's not bad. It's not Three Musketeers bar. But let's prove that point. I don't know when the last time I had a Three Musketeers bar was. Probably for I think it was when they had the birthday cake one. I think I tried that. I didn't review it, but okay. I mean, comparable in size, if anything. The Great Value might be a tiny bit wider, but it's also got a little bit more of an indent to it. So it's a little bit less refined of a candy bar process. That's instantly different, like on a massive scale. I mean, you bite into the Three Musketeer, it practically falls apart in your mouth. It wants to be eaten. I mean, yeah, it's nice. Like I said, it's never been a go-to for me, but I can appreciate what it's doing. It does have that nice, just extra fluffy, just that. And I mean, and it's, more of like a fluffy chocolate than a nougat, I guess. But, I still think that basically that's what Great Value is aiming for. But, I mean, I kind of like it as far as things are concerned. It definitely reminds me why Three Musketeers isn't one of my go-tos. I think it's a little bit too sweet. There's just a little bit too much sweetness. It's just sweet on top of sweet on top of sweet. But it's definitely a better quality product, for sure. Well, yeah. I like it about as much as I remember. It's fine. It's not my favorite thing in the world. But, again, we're doing a comparison video. So, how does the Great Value version compare? Well, it's obviously not a one-to-one. For one thing, inside of the Three Musketeers, it's nice, fluffy, kind of like chocolate and everything, aerated chocolate. This is just nougat. So it's, again, not a one-to-one to begin with. The other thing is that this is definitely lower quality. For sure. It just is. Doesn't have that nice breakaway, and again, it's got like a caramel aspect to it. Definitely very different experiences for what they are. But here's the thing. I kind of prefer this over the Three Musketeers. Now, that said, it's because what is it trying to do? If you're arguing the point that it's trying to be a Three Musketeers, it's not doing a good job. However, if you take it just as its own candy bar, just its own thing with just a Great Value brand, I like it more because, again, it reminds me a little bit of a Milky Way. And I like a Milky Way. It's not quite as good as a Milky Way, for sure, but, I can appreciate what it's doing, and I think, honestly, for me, I would probably go with this before I went with that. So, is there a clear winner in this whole thing? I think the Three Musketeers is overall higher quality. I think if you want a Three Musketeers, go for the Three Musketeers. Don't try to let this one slip in. But that doesn't mean that this one's bad. And it's like, for what it is, there's something to it. 2 questions have to be asked, though, folks. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Kinda, yeah, and yeah. Like, there's nothing bad about it. There's no, weird aftertaste or anything. I like the blending of, the nougat and the caramel flavors. And, yeah, it's a shitty Three Musketeers, but at the same time, it's, for me, better than a Three Musketeers, because it just plays to my palate a little bit better. So I think I personally would get it again. If I'm recommending it, it is going to be based firmly off the fact that it's like, look, if you're like me and you're looking at it and you're like, that looks like it's just a rip-off Three Musketeers, I don't think it's that. And I don't think that it's overtly trying to be that. I think it's hinting at it a little bit, but it's definitely a very different product. And I don't think that if you're looking for Three Musketeers, it's going to fulfill that same notion. But if you're like me, where maybe, you're just like, whatever, man, I like a Milky Way or a Snickers or whatever, and I like chocolate and caramel and nougat, I think it works really well in that regard, personally. So I think I would recommend it. There's just nothing to dislike. Again, it's maybe a little bit lower quality, but not by leaps and bounds. Anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of your year, folks. Go over there, have yourselves a truly Milky Way-tastic rest of your life. Because Milky Ways are just good. I think so, anyway. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in your world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do all the time, I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you do, folks. You try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And we don't always have surprisingly good knockoff candies to see us through our day. When we run into those situations where, we are faced with these things that we're, just difficult and struggling with, take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholeness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there, maybe you're going to keep an eye out on Walmart, see if they're going to come out with some generic version of your favorite candy. All right? Maybe you're an Abba Zaba fan, and maybe you're just like, come on, Walmart, bring out the generic Abba Zaba. And then, if they do, you can let me know in the comments, and I will go over there, I will review it, and I'll let you know how it is. But no, let me pose the question to you. In any regard, do these things seem appealing to you? Are you just going to stick with the name brand? Is it worth it to you? I try to answer that question a little bit in these reviews, but it's always going to be hard to say. Anyway, bye.